this is how you set up a content rewards campaign in Whop. You're first of all gonna go to Whop. You're gonna create a page, a store, and then you're gonna add store. Gonna select this content rewards. If it doesn't come up, just search. So you'll add that. And then you'll choose whichever Whop you want to give it access to. So I have two here. Since we do all our clipping into this one, then we'll add it there. But let's just skip that for now. And then we're going to give it a name. So let's just do test. Select the type that this campaign is. So UGC is basically just, user-generated content. Most people know what it is, but it's when real-life people or even AI people nowadays sell your service or product, etc. Clipping is when you give access to all the video assets you have and they just clip it and make edits out of it. And personal brand. Then you'll set your campaign budget. The higher the better. The higher the budget, the more likely you'll attract really good editors. But I've set up campaigns for like $200 and we've had 60 clippers join in like 2 days, so it doesn't need to be super high. And then the reward rate. So reward rate. So this is how much you pay out the clippers. $3 per 1,000 views. So 3K views, they get paid out $9. I've seen as low as $1, and I've tested one for $4. $4 is way too high. But you can do like $2. I think $2 is a good spot. Minimum payout. So you can decide when you want to pay out someone. So let's say they have to hit 2,000 views. So we'll set the minimum payout to $4. The maximum payout, depending on your budget, this will look different. For a smaller budget, I typically do half. But for bigger budgets, you can do like a quarter or 10% of the entire budget, depending on. But just be careful. I'm going to get into this later, but I have had people like rig the system and buy views and buy likes, and they just like take all the money of the budget. So be careful about that. And then flat fee bonus is just however much you pay them per submission based on the submissions that you actually accept. I usually don't include this. And you'll select the platforms you want. Available content. So you'll make a Google Drive with all your content, and then you'll just get the link. Make sure that anyone with link can see the folder. We'll link that there. And then you'll also create a brief like this and include looms. So the brief just goes through the submission guidelines. You can pause here and read this through. It's a bit different for every person, obviously. It depends on if you want people to make separate accounts under your name. And you'll obviously have different hashtags and a different video assets link. But a good strategy is to use Loom to really get clear, help the clippers get clear on what kind of content you want. So this is an example that a partner of ours did. So he explained how the Google Drive is organized. Then he explained the type of videos that go viral. And then he actually explains how to edit the videos in his style. So the cool thing with the content rewards campaign is that once people submit, you actually own the rights to the video. So you can download it and post it to your own accounts. And so we'll just we'll share this. Copy the link and then paste that into the available content. And then content requirements. We have a little bit of redundancy here between the content requirements in here and here. So let's just say a very typical one is tag at test in caption. And you can have a bunch of different requirements like must post from a branded account, must actually do an edit and not just download videos and put it onto social media, which if you can see here, I've clearly explained that if you do that, you won't be approved. You'll be surprised some people actually try to do that, so avoid that. And then you'll just upload a thumbnail. I won't for now. And then you press continue. and then you'll add a budget. So you'll select the budget. If you don't have a budget in Whop, you'll just go and add pay through credit card or whatever. And yeah, that's basically it. Now let me show you what it looks like once you have it running, you have a budget, and people are joining and clipping. So you'll see submissions, so you'll be able to view all the content that gets submitted, and you'll be able to approve or reject and see how much you owe them or that will get paid out. So you don't have to worry about paying them out manually. It'll just be done by Whop. And then sometimes you'll have just like really annoying people just like spamming you, spamming the chat. And so you can include that in a loom or in this brief on how to behave. But sometimes people are like mad because you're not paying them out, but really the reason why you're not paying them out is because of that minimum budget. So once you approve content, it'll go in this, and then rejected content here. And so the person, basically what they did was, so the person that rigged the game or like broke the system, basically what they did is just buy views and buy likes. And so they basically took 90% of the budget, and so I've since banned them. And when I did set this up, flagging wasn't a feature, so I'm not sure if flagging will fix that. But yeah, be careful of that. Make sure you're like paying attention to it, maybe once in the morning, one at night, and that is basically it. Peace.